Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. I was using a tripod a minute ago, and the fucking thing just threw the phone on the ground. So I'm just such a piece of shit. It squeezes the hell out of my phone, and I just don't feel good about that. But at any rate, I thought I would take a puff and give you my feelings on this whole. So of course, of course, Merry Christmas. It is Christmas. Um, this is so Trump and Melania put out a Christmas, Merry Christmas message, as most presidents will do, um, and I just thought it was very interesting. Ooh. So let's oh Jesus. Let's start playing this video. I don't have it pointed at the TV, obviously. I don't know that it's necessary. Um, oh, the ghetto move of drinking out of a gallon. All right, let's see.
The President and I want to wish each and every American a very Merry Christmas.
At this sacred time of year, Christians celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and rejoice in his love for every person. We give thanks for the millions of Americans who...
Okay, stop here. Stop. Well, let's. How does he say it?
The President and I want to wish each and every American a very Merry Christmas.
At this sacred time of year, Christians celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Okay, stop there. At the sacred time of year, Christians do this and that. Last I checked, this is a secular state, and it's just, I don't know. Like all I hear about is how Christians are misrepresented, and how Christians are victimized, and how Christians are treated as second-class citizens. It just seems like some kind of violation of church and state for the president to get up on the potential, what one might argue is the most important day of the year, next to like election day every 4 years, and to just represent Christians only. This was put up 2 hours ago, by the way. It's it's really offensive, and this idea that we are some kind of Christian country, we are some kind of just Christians here. It's fucked. I don't believe in it, and I don't have the data in front of me. Sorry, it's loogies smoking. But I can't, what is it, like 50% of the country maybe is Christian now? I even that sounds like a stretch to me. I should have looked all this up before I did this video, but that's not the point. The point is, we are not a fucking Christian country, period. And I know that a certain amount of Christians want you to believe that we are a Christian country, which is funny because coincidentally it happens to be the belief that they hold. So it's easy for them to say it because that makes them, kings of the clubhouse. We left England to have a free life. Okay, our ancestors did. I'm not saying those guys were good guys. I'm not saying that those guys were meant to represent us, modern people. But the only part of the Constitution that brings up religion is no religion. Like that's why they left, to have freedom to do with or do without religion. But it's the mindset of secularism is freedom. And for, like I said before, the president to get up and say that this is the time of year when Christians celebrate, that's fucked. You know how many Christians, how many not Christian people, or just people that don't believe in Jesus, or maybe they're atheist or whatever, people that don't identify as Christian. There are plenty of people I know who enjoy Christmas in every way that I keep forgetting I'm not a Christian. They enjoy Christmas in any way that a Christian would, except for they don't have Jesus. They have the Christmas tree. They have the fucking presents. They'll even, some of them even go to church with their families, even though they hate it. Okay, but this is not the day that Christians do X, Y, and Z. Period. This is a day that we, I mean. There are all kind of Yuletide winter celebrations that happen this time of the year, this week of the year. In Europe in the past, they had plenty of not satanic, but just goblins that would come and get you if you were bad. You know, those were their funny stories. Rough people, they got rough stories. Tough, that's what happens when you're tough. So if if you're not tough, you will be upset that other people celebrate other things other than your holiday. If you're a whining pussy, you will make sure you remind everybody that this is your fucking time where you celebrate, where you give extra attention to your God's birthday, and da-da-da-da-da. I don't have any problem with people celebrating Christmas in this way. That's fine until we have our president basically ignoring that there's a class of people that aren't Christians this time of year. It's fucked. And I think he does this because he knows that's where the largest number of his base remains, is in that circle. So more and more the public service announcements that Trump makes are geared towards his base, are geared towards his voters, because he knows that it's a shrinking number. Even though the Democrats are going to do everything they can to make him look awesome in the end. But it's just not appropriate for him to get up and say, "Hey, this is the Christians' time." Whoa, what can we represent? Do we have a word for the large swath of the country that is not Christian? Because, like I said, I know that this is technically the supposed day that, this is not supposed. This is the day that Christians believe that Christians celebrate the birth of Christ. But it's also everybody else celebrating it too, so they need representation too, and it's just our government doesn't represent only Christians. We are a fucking secular state. If you want to live in a country where your religion is celebrated, then become a Muslim and move to Saudi Arabia, because I hear plenty of complaining about how Islam is so deeply involved in the government of Saudi Arabia. But I don't hear complaining about how Christianity is so just thrown at us by the president all the time now. It's fucking weird. It's strange to me. And if it was any fucking religion, even if it was, I don't know how you would represent pushing atheism, but let's just say he was giving snarky remarks towards people that believe in gods and saying, reminding them that gods don't exist and shit, which is the kind of shit I like to do when I'm having an attitude. But I honestly, if he was doing these sorts of things, I would feel offended for people that believe in gods. So it's just not. You just need to be neutral. If you're the president, you need to be neutral, and understand that the people that live in your country, the country that you are president of, are not of one mind. They're not of one religion. And we are not a religious state. We are not a one religion state. We are a no religion state. As far as authoritative shit coming from the government, it can't come out of a holy book. Anyway.
And rejoice in his love for every person. We give thanks for the millions of Americans who come together to care for others with compassion and bring the warmth and bliss of this holy season to our families, our friends, our neighbors, and to those in need.
Hold on.
As
Stop.
together with loved ones.
Fucking stop. I tried to stop that 10 seconds ago. How can any person in government talk about, we think the Americans that are generous? I don't know. I didn't. What's the? I'm not saying I want a gift from the White House. But it helps if you also are a generous person, if you think it's so great for other people to be generous. And I don't know, man. It's just such a hypocritical thing for like 90% of our government to talk about generosity on a day like today. I just don't. Why don't you give it a try? And this isn't just for Trump. This is, don't get me wrong. Like this, there's a very small number of people in our government that I think are great people and really care about the rights of Americans and the personal freedoms of Americans and getting people to a point in life where they can get back to the country. There's very few politicians like that. I think those politicians really, really need some credit. Because I'm actually a little offended when people speak negatively of our government wholesale. Because I know when the good ones hear that stuff, it just breaks their heart and makes them angry, because they're fighting 1,000 times harder to make up for all the gangsters. So it's on a day like Christmas, I don't do things like this, but since I'm on this path, I am thankful for absolutely thankful for the good members of our government. So I don't want this to come out as like we're just going to come out and hate on the government on Christmas. That's not my intention today. I just saw this and it really didn't seem like it represented America at all. Like we are a country that has many religions and cultures, and we are a diverse. We are not diverse enough, but we were built on diversity. I think this country gets whiter by the day, but which is, I'm not anti-white, but point is, we are made up of a variety of people, and it is our smorgasbord of ideas and lifestyles that make our country such a interesting place. And I know you can't individually identify everybody, but just be a little more broad.
This holiday, Americans across this land are grateful for all the men and women in uniform who keeps us safe. Our military, our police, and
So I'm not going to go after the the only people I'm going after in the military right now, are the bad seeds that know who they are, and I'm not going to go after that. But two, it all starts from the government and the military leaders at the top, because it is their idea to launch all these wars. But I don't think it is the military leaders' objective to keep us safe. I think it is their objective to make money for the government and launch these profitable wars and take other people's shit and launch coups that kill foreign leaders that we don't like for this reason or that reason. That is the point of the fucking military. Now, I'm sure if some other foreign country were to say, fuck you, America, we are going to launch an attack on you. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that we have a military to defend us. But I'm thinking, can you tell me the last war that we engaged in that was to protect us from some foreign threat that was seriously going to fuck us up? I don't think it was Vietnam. I don't think it was Iraq. Yeah, we finally did get Osama bin Laden, but that was after a whole long, multiple tours of war in the wrong countries and just a lot of playing grab ass. I think World War II, and even that war, I question if we were involved. But I think that was the last war that there was someone trying to fuck us up. and we actually had to stand our ground and defend ourselves. But every other war has just been about us taking other people's shit, taking out foreign leaders, that kind of stuff. The objective of our military leaders is not about our personal safety. It's about business and blood. So it's my problem is their objective. So I'm trying to provide as much commentary as I can on this one. It's like a 1-minute video. So, but comment for comment, I don't agree with that.
Everyone in law enforcement.
We say a special prayer for those military service members stationed far from home, and we renew our hope for peace among nations.
Don't get me wrong, you know, I'm thankful for those that sign up for the military, thinking they're going out to do the right thing. You know, I admire their motives. I'm not, you know, it's just, from what I've been told from people that are actually in the fucking military, is it's just, there's a lot of, just a high civilian death toll, and you know, just a lot of people that get shot and blown up and whatever. It's just the wrong people. A certain number, and I cannot say, I can't give you a percentage, but a certain number of the people in the military, I believe, don't have good intentions. That believe that war is just football. Like, if someone from this country attacks us, then they will turn on their neighbors that belong to their nationality, because that's how they see war. This country versus that country. Tribalism. War is always more complicated than that. And I don't know how many people that are in this country that feel this way. I don't know how many people that are in the military feel this way. But there's a certain number. And that number should be 0, but it's not. It just makes me, it's hard for me to be fully grateful for our military operation with these sorts of details at play. It's hard for me to, I don't know how to feel about thanking them. I want to, you know, I want to thank people that are able to get into a firefight for something they believe in, for what they believe is our safety. Don't get me wrong, I just don't know how to express gratitude, because I don't believe in any of the wars we've been in for the past 50 years or whatever the fuck. Yeah, so I don't know what to say. Like,
and joy to the world. On behalf of the entire Trump family, we wish everyone a joyous and Merry Christmas and a very happy, happy New Year.
That whole thing just seemed like kissing ass to the people that already currently support him. I don't want to sound like I'm not grateful to get a Merry Christmas from the president. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm not grateful for that. But it just was so fucking terrible all the way through. It was just, I don't know. Like, I think the country's already sensitive towards our separation of church and state. I don't get it. I think this is bad. This is bad, but it does demonstrate a lot about the president and the state of his appeal towards the country and who he's trying to appeal to. So I think this is a fail. I think he should take it down. I think he really needs to rethink how he's addressing the country and who he's addressing, because it seems like every fucking time he's only talking to the people that are his die-hard fans, and he just doesn't have any interest in, I'm not saying doing everything that everybody wants, but he's out of touch. He's out of touch with everybody from the middle to the left, or even maybe a little bit right of center to the left. I mean, he's lost. Anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody except Trump.